All right, mga Crown. And at this point, we are very honored and we're very grateful that she has accepted our invite despite her busy schedules, of course, training, preparing for the competition coming this November. But we are so honored that we will be joined by Miss Universe Fiji 2024, Nadine Roberts.
Bulavanaka, mabuhay!
Hi, mabuhay, Nadine, and welcome to
Mabuhay, Christian.
our
Thank you for having me on the show.
How are you? How has it been since you were crowned as Miss Universe Fiji?
Uh, a variety of feelings, but overall ecstatic. Absolutely ecstatic. And
Yeah,
proud to represent my country.
we are definitely curious about one question that we will ask that to you later as we get to know more about you. But Nadine, can you share with us the journey that led you to signing up for Miss Universe Fiji 2024?
Sure. So I had heard that when I heard that there was going to be a Miss Universe Fiji, I was so ecstatic because, first of all, this is the first Miss Universe Fiji in 43 years. And this is a huge opportunity for a very, very positive impact and platform for the young women and girls of Fiji. So I thought to myself, okay, as a seasoned beauty queen, and especially in an era where there are so many returning legacy queens already participating in the Miss Universe. Sorry, that's my my auntie. I thought now is the best time. I feel like the time is now, especially in such an era of inclusion. I believe there must be over 20 contestants this year who are over 30, who are wives, who are mothers, and I'm absolutely honored to be a part of this. I thought that my journey in pageantry was over, and especially last year was quite a difficult time. I was very sick and with pancreatitis, a medically induced pancreatitis that led to 1 month in hospital in ICU. And this is not something that I actually had shared on my Miss Universe Fiji journey. This is something that I have kept to myself. Um, but I do feel like it's important to highlight because it is a huge part of my journey, and it definitely was my second chance at life, and also a second chance to really inspire not just myself but also inspire those around me.
It's going to be definitely a great comeback for Fiji in the Miss Universe stage. So, Nadine, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced during the competition, and how did you overcome those?
I think like I couldn't really see any big challenges initially. Initially, uh, it was pointed out that my age actually was an issue in the competition, which was very surprising for me because it, you know, my age is kind of a big part of why I joined in the first place. And I also have a lot of support from my pageant sisters all over around the world who are also now in their era of inclusion, competing, representing their nations as well. So that was definitely one. And the other issue, obviously, which we're all aware of, is what happened on the crowning night. And I have experienced this before. I was 19 at the time, and I didn't know how to handle the negative and positive repercussions. And I feel like now, as a woman, as a married woman, uh, as a woman who's just recently turned 30, I feel like I know how to deal with these situations now. I feel like I'm a lot stronger. Um, I feel like I am a lot stronger in mentally, and I know who I am now more than ever. So this was definitely a very challenging situation for me because once again, I feel like the moment that I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone worked so hard. We all worked so hard. And to then find out that the results were skewed and, unbeknownst to to the other lady who was crowned on the night, I believe, as well.
Mhm.
You know, and it's just so unfortunate that all these contestants, we've now become the collateral damage of ulterior motive from contract organizers that the licensees weren't even aware of.
Mhm.
And I just hope that Miss Universe International can really properly analyze every everything in what I believe is going to be investigated, and I hope that justice can be served. Uh, my heart really goes out to Menchika. No one deserves to go through this, and neither do myself nor she deserve to go through this. When
Mhm.
on the night, I'm waiting for the footage and I'm waiting for it to come out, but um, when I was announced as the first runner-up initially, they were about to announce the second runner-up. But then there was a change, all of a sudden, a drastic change that there were to be two first runners up. And so then I was also quite felt quite humiliated when my sash was then taken off me. And so I was desashed on stage, still acknowledged as a first runner up, but without a sash. And my
Mhm.
sash was then placed on another contestant, Suzanne.
Mhm.
And I just felt like this combination of messy behaviors, and I feel like it was all done in such a rash moment. Um, the licensees, I believe there were only two judges that were appointed by the licensee. All the rest were appointed by the contracted organizer Grant Dwyer, which in turn, I believe it's now been revealed that they were friends, family, or associates, which I believe is also in breach of the Miss Universe International guidelines. So even though they were all judges that were all associated with the contracted organizer, the results still were a tie, but the licensee vote, which is supposed to be the deciding vote, um, was intentionally not counted. And yeah, so everything has just been has resulted in such a messy situation that I really hope Miss Universe International um, can investigate in an ethical manner that does not um, hurt any of the contestants any more than we already are. Because especially like I said, I have experienced this before, and it is not a nice feeling. It really did impact my overall first time world pageant experience and created a lot of controversy that I did not know how to handle. And to experience this the second time round, rejoining a beauty pageant after I thought that my time was over, is absolutely devastating. And I'm sure it's just absolutely devastating for everyone.
How you're handling the situation, Nadine, or how you've handled it is very inspirational, and it teaches a lot of women all over the world, the universe rather, about really composing yourself and handling it perfectly well. So since we're already talking about this, Nadine, so I just want to check up on how you and the initially proclaimed winner are after the correction was, or the
Mm.
announcement.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's hurting. I've been staying with my family, and I've been really happy though, with the support and love of my family. Um, I have not paid too much attention to all the negative comments. That, of course, this is going to happen. Of course, there's going to be backlash, and there's always going to be someone who the pageant fans need to blame. And I accept this. I've been through it before, and I'm just grateful that now, as a woman who knows who I am, who knows what I stand for, I'm not as easily impacted as I was when I was 19. For Manshika, I send my love and my deepest thoughts and prayers. No girl, no contestant, no woman should ever have to experience what happened that night, and everyone is hurting. Um, I can't speak for Manshika, but I do send my thoughts and prayers to her.
I'm sure everything's going to be well, as in time, I'm sure. And you'll be able to represent the Fiji very well in the Miss Universe stage. So, speaking about that, how do you feel representing Fiji on the global stage? And what does this title mean to you personally?
This title means to me personally an opportunity to provide a platform for the future generation of Fijians tomorrow. I do have a side passion where I really love to just research and understand um, property development, money that comes in and out of economies, and how best to provide platforms that elevate entire nations, and in this case, Fiji. And I've in Fiji, it's actually the cost of living is quite expensive, and the cost of living in comparison to the jobs that are provided for native Fijians is not very sustainable. You have an average household earning Fiji 200 Fiji dollars a week. That is barely enough to even buy half the amount of groceries for 1 week in a family. And so, if to provide a platform from the Miss Universe Fiji, I see an opportunity which I've actually remodeled based from in my inspiration from my other pageant sister and pageant queen, Akisha, who is currently representing Curacao for Miss Grand. We both represented at Miss Earth together. And I've watched and observed and totally am so inspired by the platform she's created in Curacao. Um, Almost, it's like a pageant academy. And so it would be so amazing to invest in some land, develop the property that could also be a headquarters and the new headquarters for Miss Universe Fiji, and then align that with a platform where I can, along with a brilliant team, build up and really educate the young women and girls of Fiji from all diversities.
Wow. So, hearing about it, it's a very big project. And
It is, and it means so much to me because I have grown up where I've grown up and I've been inspired as, my family and I, how we all support each other. And I feel like this is one of those once in a lifetime opportunities to provide a platform where they can be inspired and be educated with the right tools and resources to elevate themselves and have that power within themselves and then pass that on to the even more further future generations. Because Fiji is growing, and I would love to see the native Fijians grow with it.
agree. And speaking of the rich culture and natural beauty of Fiji, how do you plan to showcase these aspects of your country during the Miss Universe competition?
Oh, definitely in the local designs. We have something it's called the Chiambasulu. Basically, imagine a tropical Barbie. And they we just have some of the most beautiful designs. I was there with my momo and ne, which means auntie and uncle, and so I would really love to display these natural elements of the culture through the designs of the everyday wear, the interview, the day-to-day activities, and this is something that I've really had some time to think about and spoken about with my family, as I see the elevation and the growth in African nations in beauty pageants, and I can see that it's also elevating currently in the Pacific area. And so I feel like now's the time to really showcase the cultural beauty in not just our traditions, but also in our designs and what we wear culturally.
You have continuously influenced and inspired a lot of young women, not just in Fiji, but of course around the world. But what message would you like to share with young women who aspire to follow in your footsteps?
I would say a message that I can share with young women is that I just think to myself before I answer this question because it means that it's very personal to me because every step, every action that I've taken from a teenager to now has all been based on the kind of role model that I would want to look up to. And I do believe the message that I can share to young women is I would highly encourage, highly recommend to join beauty pageants. I believe it's a very classy, very elevated platform where you can learn to be a lady, you can learn to hold yourself, and no matter which area in life you choose to pursue, you are already prepared with all the necessary tools and resources that you can take with you in life, all the way.
All the way. All right. So
All the
at this
way.
at this point, Amy, would like to get some insights about your preparations for the competition coming in November. How are you balancing the physical, mental, and of course emotional demands of training and preparation?
The physical demands is probably the biggest focus for me. After I was ill in hospital with this medically induced pancreatitis, it caused a blow up of fluid in my body that completely changed my body. And I think this fluid resulted in a gain of 15 or so kilos in a matter of 2 weeks. So it was a very serious condition what had happened, and I'd put a lot of work in to get from there to where I am now. I'm very blessed though that I have Fiji genes. We are natural born athletes, and once you get the ball rolling, it's quite easy to tone up. And so, honestly, I can't really see. I guess unless I someone can help teach me to use TikTok, that would be wonderful. But other than that, in terms of balancing mental preparation and physical preparation, I don't really feel stressed out about it in that sense. Um, for me, this isn't just a competition. Like I said, my mission behind this, the platform that I'm focused on creating after the competition, is the biggest mission for me. So I do know that while I keep that focus, everything else will come along naturally, and that I shouldn't stress out too much, which is something that I have done in the past. And for any young girl competing in a national pageant, in an international pageant, in a provincial pageant, the best preparation that you can have is to not prepare so much.
But looks like you're 100% prepared for the competition in November.
I
Nadine, how do you stay grounded and maintain your sense of self amidst the pressures of being in the
hmm.
spotlight? You mentioned, well, this is not your first rodeo in pageantry, as you mentioned, but how do you handle or stay grounded amidst the pressures of the spotlight?
I think I stay grounded in my faith. I am a born again Christian, and my faith is very important to me. And I put God first before anything, and He takes away my pain, He takes away my fears, and He gives me strength. That's how I stay grounded. And also with my pageant sisters, everyone has this stigma, like not everyone, but there is a stigma that there is cattiness and things like this in beauty pageants. I mean, to some degree, yes, it's a competition and it's always going to start that way. But the closest friends in my life are my pageant sisters. And that's why I'm so happy, especially with this controversial situations. I have felt so supported internationally from my beauty pageant sisters. And yeah, I could not be more grateful for the friendships that I've made in the international beauty pageants. There really is a huge difference just in the way that of the support. And yes, so my pageant sisters and God.
And the Filipino fans are definitely curious to know if you have, or you and our representative, Chelsea Manala, Miss Philippines, have been part of a group chat probably for Miss Universe already. Is there one
Is there a
existing?
group chat? Ah, I mean, everyone knows that in every international beauty pageant, a chat does start to form. I haven't been entered into it yet, but I
Oh,
have been in communications with some of the Miss Universe contestants for this year. We do have a lot of mutual friends, like the Miss Universe Great Britain, Celeste. She did reach out to me because we both have mutual connections. Noki Simbani and Amy Misek. And yeah, it was just both very excited. So yes, I'm not a part of the group chat yet, but yes, I'm sure that there is definitely one in the making.
looking forward to photos of you and Miss Philippines also when you get in there in the.
Yes.
All right. So, about your future aspirations, Nadine, beyond the Miss Universe competition, what are your long term goals and dreams? How do you envision your future?
I envision my future providing platforms and really educating and expanding myself in areas of development, property, and um, like I said, providing overall platform. I understand that you have to have an element of business background. You have to know it. You can't just be a beauty queen and have no experience in business in some way. And that's why I've really taken these last few years, the last 7 years, to really educate and gain experience in areas of property management and development, and then how I would then apply that to providing structures that are like headquarters for Miss Universe Fiji, as well as hopefully then expanding and creating like the first couture brand in evening and bridal in Fiji, something which I also noticed hasn't been done before.
So, I also at this point I would like to get your thoughts about the recent update that came from Miss Universe, the Miss Universe organization. They talked about in a recent press conference the program format for this year's edition. So they said that there's going to be a top 30 coming from the 130 candidates, and then they will be picking four continental queens who will automatically be part of the top 30, a fan favorite, and then from the 30 go to top 12, top 5, and the eventual winner. How do you feel about this format?
I think it's very inclusive, and I think it's a I think it from what it sounds like, it's giving Miss World, it's giving Miss Grand, it's giving Miss Universe all together, and you know it's almost taking all the parts of the beauty pageants that I personally love. I think that also having continental winners makes it easier to have a representative on behalf of the Miss Universe organization representing and attending the national pageants within their respected continental areas, for example, Africa, for example, South America, for example, Australasia and Pacific. And yeah,
So if
I think it's the beginning of the Miss Universe family, which I'm very, very excited for. I know that this will is set to be the biggest Miss Universe. And I think that it's a very, very positive move to change the format in this way. It's something
very
new.
correct.
And it's something new, and we all love something new, and especially in this era of inclusion where we've never seen anything more new like this in the Miss Universe organization. I think it's greatly aligned, and I think it will be a wonderful outcome.
Agree.
Many pageant sisters are set to make history.
If you were to win the Miss Universe crown, Nadine, what would be the first thing you'd like to do?
The first thing that I would like to do personally, probably eat a hamburger with cheese and like that. That's what I would do privately. Um, I I think the first thing that I would like to do really is just to be with my family first and foremost. Um, I understand that with the Miss Universe International Crown, the first thing that is required, there are press releases, interviews. Um, but yes, if I were to win the Miss Universe crown, I'd love to be with my family. But first and foremost, I'll thank God.
Yay! Really looking forward to meet you in
Yeah.
person, Nadine. Wow. Hopefully.
And you, Christian. Salamat po. Thank you so much for the interview and thank you so much for your time. And yes, I always put God front and foremost because Fiji is a very Christian nation, and it is very prominent in our culture and in our tradition. So yeah, God first and foremost.
Any message, Nadine, to your supporters, to your followers, and to your fans all over the world?
A message that I send to my followers all around the world and in Fiji, my friends, families, and loved ones. I see you, I feel you, and I could not do this without you.
There you have it, mga crown Miss Universe Fiji 2024, Nadine
Salamat
Roberts
po.
here on the ground, Philippines. Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you, Christian. Salamat po. Thank you, Philippines.
See you. Bye.
See you.